In 2011, the United States Congress set aside $27 million of taxpayers' money for NASCAR military sponsorships. That included $20 million for the National Guard racing team and $7 million for Army racing. That same year, Congress cut $75 million in benefits for homeless veterans.
There's nothing inherently wrong with a NASCAR ad. The problem is that we don't realize that every single homeless veteran is a much larger and louder advertisement than what's going on the front hood of that car.
Rajiv wrote about the decision in an editorial for Time.com. Rajiv has been a regular contributor to the site, but he's not a journalist by training. His writing career began with a blog that he kept while leading a platoon in Afghanistan.
We can spend millions, hundreds of millions of dollars on ads that give our pitch. But at the end of the day, every single individual that's about to enlist in the United States military, they're gonna do their own homework. What was once just a one-dimensional character that was be all you can be, it is now a human being on a Facebook page that can say, listen, I came out and my VA benefits didn't kick in. That three-dimensional narrative is now what people pay attention to when making their decisions on a day-to-day basis. We don't take the institutional speaker box as the message now. Listen, this isn't unique. Corporations, they face this challenge every day.
What I always say about transparency is it's not a choice. It's going to happen. The only choice is, does it happen to you or do you participate in it?
Traditional advertising, I think, is finished.
Rather than spend a lot of money on paid advertising or paid marketing, instead, let's take most of that money and invest it into customer service and customer experience.
At the essence of every great brand is trust.
You're watching an ad, Crayola colored bubbles. It looks awesome. Your kid would love this. So you go online, you're about to buy, and then you can't miss it. It's inches from add to cart, and it's bad. Every single reviewer gave it 1 star, but only because 0 stars is not an option. If that isn't enough, they've taken pictures, and they look a little different than the commercial. There's always going to be a place for funny, creative, emotionally engaging ads. But what if advertising can be more than just ads? What if, instead of telling fictional stories, advertising can help companies be more transparent? Or more socially responsible? Or just more helpful? What if advertising is about making your customers happy? Corporations, at their worst, have wreaked havoc on our planet. But at their best, they innovate. They build. They move the world forward. What if advertising could help make corporations better? Patagonia is one company that has made transparency central to its brand. The Footprint Chronicles is an ongoing project that exposes the environmental impact of its products.
This is Patagonia, like the environmental outdoor brand, talking about we put toxic chemicals on your jacket you're wearing.
And it's so common to say, oh, what's the challenge? What's the opportunity? It's like, no, it's bad. It's just bad. So we just laid it out there of here's what's good, here's what's bad. And then what we think, clear, is the new clever. If we put it out there, it turns a lot of confrontations into a conversation.
Recently, Patagonia was called upon by Walmart because Walmart wanted to figure out their sustainability index. Suddenly, this relatively itty-bitty company had infected ideas that were going to be radical in a company that represents the 19th largest economy on Earth. Walmart is bigger than Norway.
They're convinced that they can actually make more money, and that's where we come in, because I'm convinced of that myself. Every time we make a decision that's right for the planet, it makes us more money.
Walmart isn't the only huge corporation that sees profits in going green. Unilever owns hundreds of brands and is the second biggest advertiser in the world. It recently announced a plan to cut its environmental footprint in half while doubling its revenue, all in the next 10 years.
Waste costs money. It costs money to produce it, it costs money to get rid of it. In taking water out, concentrating the detergent, it's enabled to have smaller packaging. It's lowered the shipping costs for our customers and storage costs on shelf. When there's a win all round, there's absolutely no reason why we shouldn't make the planet benefit.
It sounds like a small change, but consider that Unilever detergent is used by 1 out of 3 households in the world. At that level, there's no such thing as a small change.
In the digital world, I think brands are defined by what they say, but more importantly, what they do. And what advertising can do is introduce to new consumers what it stands for. But ultimately, it's how it behaves, what it's done, is how it'll be judged.
Return on investment. It's the ultimate driver of any corporate decision. In 2005, Chanel invested in an ad starring Nicole Kidman. It is the most expensive ad ever produced, costing $20 million. In 2010, Pepsi took the same budget, $20 million, and they made a different kind of investment. They gave it away. Every month, Pepsi accepted 1,000 proposals for projects that refreshed the world. The best proposals were chosen by audience vote to receive grant money.
We were all thinking, okay, are we gonna get enough submissions? 16 hours, poof, it exploded in 16 hours. We had the submissions actually shut down because we hit our quota. And then the next month, it happened in 16 minutes.
In its first year, Pepsi Refresh received 8 billion page views and 80 million votes. That's more votes than Barack Obama received in his presidential campaign. By comparison, Chanel's $20 million ad only has 4 million views on YouTube.
You know, I spent a lot of my time going around, meeting with some of the participants in it, winners, and people would hug me. I've never been hugged for any work that I've ever done in I barely get hugged at home.
A lot of companies have ideas for improving their customer experience. The challenge is making it happen. How do you change your organization and train your people to deliver a great experience? In search of answers, we took a trip to the Zappos headquarters in Las Vegas.
It is such a good night to kiss. It is such a good night to dance. It is such a good night to Scooby-Doo-Doo-Doo, Scooby-Doo-Doo-Doo, Scooby-Doo-Doo-Doo love.
One more thing I'm going to do for you for being such a good sport and understanding that sometimes we all make mistakes and these things happen. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade your account to VIP with us. Awesome. I told him he didn't feel like a customer to me. I felt like we were bros just walking around the mall together shopping for shoes.
It is such a good night to kiss. It is such a good night to dance. It is such a good night.
No company is more synonymous with customer service than Zappos. The online retailer has sold millions of shoes while spending relatively little on paid advertising. Instead, Zappos has invested in free shipping, a 24/7 call center, and most of all, the simple idea that happy employees will lead to happy customers.
Rather than just say culture is important, let's actually make it the #1 priority of the company.
Customer service is what we do. Come check us out. We're more than just shoes.
On a typical afternoon, you'll see a parade, slick dance moves, a guy in a leopard suit, and lots of smiles. The company throws blowout parties, provides free healthcare for all employees, and even keeps a full-time life coach on staff. In 2010, the company received 25,000 job applications for 250 openings. That makes Zappos more selective than Harvard.
Companies are becoming more and more transparent whether they like it or not. Everyone's hyper-connected and information travels so quickly, and that is really scary for companies where the brand that they're trying to portray is different from their internal culture.
It's a great day here at Zappos. How may I help you?
I received the most beautiful dress this morning.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, it's gorgeous. My problem is I don't know who it's from.
Okay, let me take a look here.
Okay. Does this happen a lot?
No, not really. Who do you think it's from?
Is it from Eddie?
No.
Okay. Daryl? He's
No.
like stalking me. Okay. Is it from Jesse?
Yes.
Ah! Rachel, it's from Jesse! Oh my god, she's so hot.
Transparency is no longer a choice. How brands deal with it is a choice that will determine the fate of corporations and ripple through the lives of consumers. The question is, what do we want advertising to be? Maybe it's telling a true story in a new way. Maybe it's solving a small problem. Maybe it's admitting to a big problem. Maybe it's helping somebody get through the day. Maybe advertising can change corporations. And if we can change corporations, maybe we can change the world.
We all know the planet is under pressure. One company is not going to change it. It needs to be many companies. And if we can start a movement, get more companies on board, yes, we can have a very meaningful impact on the planet.
People that are unwilling to stick their necks out, unwilling to change, unwilling to accept risk, eventually lose it all in the end.
To the skeptics, continue to be skeptics, because I'm going to go change business. You guys do what you want to do, but I see the future.